Welcome back everyone to another video on World of Warship Legends. Today we're going to be taking a look at the Tier 6 British Heavy Cruiser Surrey. In the background here we have a game of domination on Sea of Fortune. Quick stats on the Surrey. It has 8 203mm guns divided evenly among 4 different turrets. These guns with my existing build has 15.6 kilometer range, a 12.1 second reload time, and this is fully upgraded in this existing version. The HE has max damage of 3,415 hit points with a 19.5% fire chance, so solid fire chance. And then the AP has a max damage of 4,500 hit points. Now on the ship itself, in Mod 1 I am running aiming systems. Mod 2 steering gear. If it prop mod was available here, I would be picking that, but that's not available on this ship, and I think it's one of the real big negatives of this ship. It's real slow to turn, but we do have steering gears mod 2 in the second slot, and then steering gears mod 3 in the third spot as well, just to see how much turning ability we can get out of the ship. On the torpedoes, this thing has 4 torpedoes on each side. These are the standard British ships, or British torpedoes, that can be launched one at a time or as one complete salvo. They have an 8 kilometer range and a 96 second reload time. Now in this build that you guys are seeing here in the video, I am using the AL Belfast commander, running with Ingenious on the first slot, Igniter, which gives us a higher chance to set fires on the second slot, Sponge in the third slot to give some extra hit points to our guns as well as reduce incoming damage, Fixated in the fourth slot to improve the shell grouping, and then finally we have Legendary of a Refill Station. So taking a look at the game here, we are in the 6-7 game. We respond on the west side of the map just south of A. Had a Udachi that managed to already get himself killed. If you guys were watching early on, we also had a Sim spawn right with us, and he decided to go to the exact opposite side of the map. So before we get too much into this ship, let's talk about destroyer play. Stay in front of your cap, go cap. When we had the Udachi had to come from a different spawn point, he was behind. The Tashkent had already gotten into the cap, so significant disadvantage. Just poor destroyer play. I know it's the most unforgiving class to play, but if you are in there, make sure you're doing the right thing. You're staying with your spawn, you're getting the caps, and you're helping your teammates. Alright, so looking here, we are coming around the flank. I think the best way to play this ship is get out on the flank, get these good crossfire angles. It is extremely fragile. I've played about 30 games in this ship now, and the armor is extremely unforgiving. Even if you are well angled, and especially like this in a 6-7 game, you can get deleted very easily. So we're not going to be putting too much to risk here. We're going to be floating in and out of these islands, slinging HE primarily. That is the key strength of this ship. Here the Z-23 is going to sneak behind the island before we're able to do any significant damage. But we'll really get an idea of what the HE can do right here. The Gneiss now and the Vlad. 12.1 second reload. It's also a little unforgiving. I honestly don't like this ship. I'm hoping that the Tier 7 is a little bit more likable. Overall, I don't think it's a fun ship to play. It doesn't have any real big advantages to other ships at the tier. But this is what I've found to be the most consistent way to get good scores and to help your team win. So we're going to keep shooting HE at these ships here, lobbing in torpedoes as we can. The enemy team has done a great job, but they've really overloaded the western flank here. The Vlad goes in, pushes a little too hard. Our Hood takes care of him, and now the Gneiss now. We're going to have several easy shots. The Hood did make a good move here, and he's taken all the attention of the enemy team. If you watch what these salvos can do against the Gneiss now, it's going to be 3, 4, 5,000 point salvos. And all solid penetrations. You're not going to see a lot of breaks with these guns. They are high enough caliber. Even when using HE, you're going to get a lot of penetrations. Here, we've been shooting a lot of torpedoes so far. I don't think it's one of the key strengths of the ship. It's more of a secondary if you find yourself in the situation to go ahead and use them, but it's not a situation you should go looking for. So here we're going to continue just floating around the outside of the cap here. Tried to get the Z-23 knocked out. The HE is still, this is the only way to play the ship that I found. Here in a second here, we'll have an engagement with the York, and you can get an idea of what the AP does, but it does over-penetrate, especially on cruisers, a lot more than you would care for. The big highlight for this thing is you want to burn the battleships to the ground, because in addition to starting fires, you're going to do some significant damage. Right here, we did have HE loaded. When the York comes around the island, we go ahead and shoot some precautionary torpedoes at him. He gets some solid hits with AP, but our first salvo of HE right here, we knocked him for almost 6,000 points plus a fire. We did switch over to AP, and here you're gonna get a good idea. This is gonna be a great angle. We should be just absolutely decimating him there, and it was good for all of 7,006 over penetrations. AP, I just don't think it's a good solution for this ship. Just go ahead, stick with the HE. It's what it does well. It sets fire. It gets solid damage, similar to what I would say a Nelson or maybe a King George. Stick to HE and really just start punishing the enemy ships. Make them use those damage cons, and that's what you're going to see the most success. Here, even as the York is kiting away, we're still able to get some solid salvos on him. They're getting 6 hits, good damage. Keep burning them down. That's the whole point. Looking at the rest of the map, our team did a fantastic job. They went over, took C. No one's taken B yet. We're almost halfway through the game here. Pretty odd game. There's still, even with 2 destroyers on our team, 1 on theirs, no one's even trying to take it. Just a little bit strange. But at this point, both of the battleships are dead in the middle of the Vlad and the Gneiss now, so we can go ahead and start pushing in against this Colorado. We do know that the Tashkent is out here somewhere, so we need to be a little bit aware of him, because like I said, this thing turns terribly. Not very maneuverable. It's extremely slow, unforgiving with the angles, but as long as you're able to plan far ahead and keep yourself out of positions that require quick maneuvers, you're going to see a lot of success with this ship. So as we move back into A here, we're taking a look at the roster. We see there's a Monarch, the Colorado, and the Tashkent still alive. But we do have 5 ships alive, as well as a full health Massachusetts there. So we're looking real good. The Colorado's kind of sitting back there behind the island. We see the Tashkent was last spotted there right by the island. So we're not sure if he decided to come back or continue back north. We do have our destroyer that's up north, so we don't need to worry too much about that, because the Tashkent is up there. He will be able to spot him and hopefully take him out. So at this point, what we want to do, get into the cap, go ahead and keep shooting this Colorado as the angles allow. That's not our primary concern. Our primary concern is getting this capture point. As you can see, though, our battleship also just did roll in, so we're going to have plenty of support on this side now. Speaking of this ship's armor, if you were to go into the armor viewer and get a detailed look at it, if you look at everything but what is around the Citadel, the thickest the armor is 30 millimeters. Extremely, extremely unforgiving. It seems like when you do get shot with the big battleship guns, it is almost always devastating. It's very easy for them to get into that Citadel. They can overmatch from any angle. So again, keep your distance. You want to make sure that you're able to plan ahead. Make sure that you're not going to just get blasted by AP shells. Because it doesn't matter if it's through the nose. I had a hood shoot me straight through the nose for a devastating strike. I think my 3rd or 4th game. That was from over 12 kilometers out. So the armor is extremely unforgiving. Just keep your distance. Here we're rolling into the cap. The Colorado's deciding to come around the corner. He's not going to last very long. 3v1, kind of an unfair battle for him. He was never going to really have a chance here. We do catch another fire, and as you can see here, the fire chance is what's going to be helping this thing out. Getting the high value HE 45 or 3,400 per hit potential with the HE. And then if you include that with fire, that's going to be the best way to go to keep getting consistent damage throughout the game. Eventually, we do go ahead and take the A-cap here. The Monarch kind of staying out of the game. He goes down to the Massachusetts right here. Overall, our team is able to take over, finally going in and taking B. But not before the Tashkent really had himself a fantastic game. He took the Udachi out in the first 30 seconds, it looked like, as Udachi pressed into A-cap. Unfortunately, as it feels a lot like this game, his great play wasn't enough to carry the team to victory. We eventually do end up chasing him down and getting the kill to end the game. Let me know what you guys' thoughts are on the British heavy cruiser line. I'm not a fan, but I would like to hear everyone else's thoughts. Is it good, bad? What do you like about them? Don't like about them? We'll have a Tier 7 Albemarle preview coming out later this week once it's available on Monday. If you guys have any other questions, please leave them down below. If this is your first time watching, please consider hitting subscribe. We'll have a lot more World of Warship Legends videos coming at you shortly. Have a great day.